What's up, guys? So today I'm going to be talking about my new 7 to 9 inch McGaughys lift kit. I have mine set at 9 inches. The struts are adjustable on these kits. I'm just going to be talking about, the differences between this new kit and my old 7.5 inch rough country lift. So right off the bat, you can tell that it sits up taller. If you've watched any of my previous videos talking about the truck, you can just tell, especially up here in the front. I got the same setup as I had in the last video, I think, about the truck whenever I bought these Venom tires. So you can kind of see the difference if you go back and look at that. But I have absolutely no rub up front now. I can crank my wheel all the way and it don't hit on the fender anymore. And these are 26 by 14s, negative 81 offset with a 37 1550 tire. Now I do rub in reverse, which I think that's common. You'll catch up here somewhere. I don't really know where I'm catching, but that's real common, because the truck shifts a different way. You guys might say, oh, it's squatted, that the rear end is a little lower right now. So they had an option to do an add-a-leaf. And my leaves are powder coat. I mean, they need redone because they're flaking pretty bad. I don't really know what happened there. That's the only thing that I've had issues with. I think because they flex, so the powder's just been flaking off. But I was just trying to get it done. I didn't want to have to tear the leaf springs apart and get those all completely redone with the new add-a-leaf, because those come in black. But in my opinion, it ain't that bad. So what I did was they just sent a I think it's a 6 or a 7 inch block for the rear on this kit. I'm not 100% sure. It's one of the two. So I just threw that block in there and went with it. But I think I'm just going to simplify it, and I'm just going to buy lift shackles. 2 inch lift shackles. I hope that won't be too much. I might just do 1 inch. I don't know. We'll see. So up here in the front, I kept my kryptonite upper control arms the same, and then my lower control arms are the same. Nothing there changed. This kit is a very high quality kit. Cross members and everything is just top notch. You can definitely tell how much bigger it is compared to the rough country one right out of the box too. They do send their own tie rod ends. They are shorter, as you can see. That's just my sleeves on there. It kind of works as the nut. But yeah, that tie rod comes with this lift kit. And just like on my old lift, it came with, they call them compression struts. Rough country calls them kicker braces. But they are just a solid bar when you order this kit. I ended up buying this option to match my rear traction bars. So I got the ladder bars. They were an extra $400, I do believe, but they do look really good. Diff drops on this kit is huge compared to the old rough country lifts that I had. I have a picture of it, I do believe. So if I have it, I'll attach it in this video. Just overall, everything was much bigger. The cross members, sway bar drops, the diff drops, all that. The knuckles are 10 times bigger. I mean, even the struts, they were a little bit taller, but most of your lift comes from your bolt-on cross members, and they were at least 2 inches taller. This kit also comes with nice CV axle spacers. They're aluminum. The rough country ones just had black plastic. And yes, I still have the rough country traction bars. You just have to adjust the heim joint just a little bit on the rear to make them fit. But I really didn't have any issues since I only went up 1 inch in the rear. So everything bolted right up. And like I said, those match those new ones in the front. So that looks pretty good. Something minimal here. I did get my antenna powdered in the same color. Back to these struts, like I said, they're adjustable. So there's a ring up in there. That's where it was set originally. That's a 7 inch height, and then I got it up 2 more notches, but it don't come with the coil. So you either have to buy new coils from somewhere, like just OEM coils, because they're the same thing, or you take your old ones apart and put them on here. Now the rough country ones, you can't necessarily do that, so I did get new ones, new coils. And the reason I say that is this cup right here on the rough country struts are actually welded. onto the shock itself, and you need that lower cup to complete the coil there. So if you have factory ones, you can take them apart, but the rough country ones you couldn't. So you'll have to take these to the shop, have them put them together. Unfortunately, I did have to put the brake line extended bracket on there. You know, it pulls this bracket away and you pull your lines down. I never really liked the rough country one, so I never put it on there. I actually bought their extended brake lines, and I didn't think I was going to clear. You know, I thought my brake line was going to be tight. It probably would have if I would have just left it. Well, I put the new brackets on. That's from the McGaughys kit. And it actually looks pretty good. These bars here, and that blue bar down there, it's just a stabilized bar that runs from front cross member to the rear cross member. That way it tightens everything up more, makes it more stable. So I like that, just more reinforcement. Overall though, the quality of this lift kit and everything, I 100% highly recommend it. Especially if you're wanting height. If you're wanting a tall truck, go with this kit. If you're just wanting your truck to be up in the air, run a little bit bigger tire and wheel, I love the rough country one. I ran it for 2 years and never had an issue with it. I just wanted bigger. And this one, it's more show worthy in my opinion. It just looks really good. The next big question, I'm sure, well, was there anything different, you know, between the two lift kits that I had to do differently whenever I took the old one off and put this one on? Mostly it was all just, you know, just drop and put the new in. I did have to cut the factory cross member a little more on this one. We'll actually cut this side in general. Where the diff drops, it'll hit right there. So you got to cut like 3.5 inches off of the factory cross member mount there. On the rough country lift kit, I did that on the driver's side, but you didn't have to on the passenger side. Well, I didn't think I was going to until I dropped the diff. It hit, so I ended up having to cut on the passenger side. It's part of it, what you do. I mean, if you're going up, do you ever really plan on going down? For the most part, no, unless you buy a truck lifted. It's going to take a lot of work to get back to factory. I already had multiple people ask me, well, does this kit ride a lot better? Honestly, it's hard to tell. It's hard to give you a really good answer because, like I tell everybody, the lift isn't really the quality of your ride, in my opinion. I feel like with wide wheels, you feel every bump in the road. You know, on my rough country kit, I had this on stocks a couple times. It rode like a Cadillac. But then you put these wide wheels on and you feel like you're just hitting every crack in the road. You can feel it. But I personally think you can tell a slight difference in this kit. It might ride a little smoother. But, oh yeah, and speaking of that, it did come with rear shocks. So I replaced them as well. So there is one thing that I didn't do on this lift kit. They send the part for it, but I didn't feel the need to do it. The rough country kit came with it as well. There's a brake line bracket that you stick up here on the frame to pull your brake lines away and drop them. You know, give you more slack since you are going up. But, like I said, I had the other bracket up there, and they're dropped far enough, so I didn't have a problem. Oh, and I got a new diff cover with some spikes. I've had that for a minute. Looks pretty good in there. So there you have it. 7 and 9 McGaughys lift. I have mine set at 9. Oh, one thing I did forget to mention. I did keep my 1/2-inch spacer. If you've watched my video on the old lift kit, I have a 1/2-inch spacer up here. And it just kicks it up a little bit taller. But it ain't much. But I'm sure it definitely helps. Before I end this video, I'll go ahead and I'll turn this wheel and let you guys see how much more clearance I have. There you go. That's full crank. It does not hit. You can obviously see where I hit before. I kind of rolled them back a little bit. But no more rub now. 24 or 26 by 14 negative A1 offset with 37 1550 tires. Fits pretty good on this lift setup. But it does make me want bigger tires. Maybe one day, we'll see. I'll rub again, but hey, rubbing's thugging, right? Here's the other side on the bumper. I think if you did not have that cut like I do, you would definitely still hit on the bumper. But that's with a lot of trucks. One thing I did not talk about is CV axles. The angles, way better on this lift kit since everything is dropped further. All the drop brackets are bigger, so it makes a world of difference. This is the latest big project on the truck. Got a few things I need to do, obviously. My bed, it's getting pretty bad on the driver's side. bad for my liking. It's bubbled up in a couple spots. I do have those fiberglass bedsides I've talked about in the past. I just ain't had the time to mess with it. I ordered this lift kit at Custom Offsets because you can't order directly from McGaughys. So I'll put the link down below. Use my name at checkout if you want to support me. You know, you can put my name on there and tell them that I sent you or whatnot. So I appreciate you guys watching. If you guys have any questions about this kit, just drop them down below and I'll try to get to them.